Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Hope you've had a great Thursday. Hope you're having a great work week. So in this video, I'm really going to discuss what's going on next week. And I can tell you with confidence, there's still some question marks, especially revolving around Christmas Eve and the Christmas. One major model, the GFS, has a big-time Arctic plunge, very quick amount of Arctic air. A quick shot is what I'm trying to say of Arctic air into the Northeast, into parts of the Mid-Atlantic. And the European isn't so much so, but we're going to try to figure out what's going to go on. There's also a few systems to watch. One particular system it might be a sneaky system around Christmas Eve and Christmas. So we're going to talk about that and show you what these models are showing and really break down what's going on, because I tell you what, even at this range, which I kind of thought by this time we'd really know what was going on for Christmas as far as temperatures. But I still think that's a little bit of a question mark. So we're going to talk about what we know. We're going to go over the GFS European and break down what's going to know. I'm not going to keep y'all too long tonight. Going to be straight to the chase information here. But if you guys have not subscribed, hit the subscribe for me. Like the video if you like it. Very excited for what 2022 is going to bring with me and my channel. And I just appreciate an awesome year. Today actually marks the 1-year anniversary of when I first got monetized on YouTube. So thank y'all. Couldn't have done it with all y'all. Especially that first 1,000 people who subscribe. Y'all were the basically, the foundation of what really kickstarted. But I appreciate all my subscribers and everybody who supports me, and I love and appreciate every single one of y'all. So thank y'all. So let's get going here. GFS. Let's tell you what the latest one's showing. This is the 18Z run, and going forward here. What's going on to the weekends? You have a system that could potentially dump some nice holiday weekend snow for the interior areas of the Northeast. I really think it's going to start off with some snow and then quickly go over to a mix of sleet, maybe a wet snow mix, and then potentially go over the all rain in Boston. Speaking about Boston, but just north of Boston to Vermont and southern sections of Maine, this could be a nice half a foot, 7-8 inch kind of event for you guys. It's going to put some snow on the ground. And with some cold air that's going to linger into next week, into Christmas, to the holidays, the potential for the snow that falls on the ground could stick around through the holidays. So a nice snowy scenery. We get this system out of the way. This is going to bring rain for the Southeast also as we get into Sunday. And everything's so sneaky about this system. You look at here, this actually showing some wet snow for the coastal areas of Delaware, and also near Maryland, as some cold air is catching up with this moisture. As you get into Sunday afternoon. So I'll mention this. This is a time frame where it could be a sneaky system could pop up and surprise people. I'll just throw that out there. But it's still hard to figure out what's going to happen. And we're going to keep talking about it until we really know what's going to happen. But that moves through. You start to get into the week, the couple days before Christmas next week. This will be another storm we're watching down here in the Southeast. This has a chance to be a powerful little system that can really bring some breezy conditions, gusty winds across the Carolinas and coastal Georgia. We'll see how close and how strong that storm system gets to the Carolina coastline. But you're looking around Wednesday afternoon, and this is a pretty potent little system off the Southeast. It's looking like it develops and then moves on out to sea, but still got to watch it. A little piece of the Northern Stream energy really blows up here. They try to connect with the same system to the Southeast, and there's a little bit of a connection here with these two pieces of energy, but definitely not a full-on connection. And it also brings a little bit more snow to the same areas that get snow a couple days prior, the weekend prior. So this might add a little bit more snow on the ground and maybe a little bit more snow for Boston. So that's why you watch this storm system. This is the same storm system that 4 or 5 days ago was showing a big-time winter storm for early next week. This is the same system that's still lingering around, that's still there. And you got to watch to see if this trends northeast or northwest. You really do. And then you get into the actual holidays around Christmas Eve and into Christmas. And you got to watch this piece of energy right here. There's some moisture showing up with some deep Arctic air just to the northeast. And there's a piece of energy here. And it's having a hard time actually showing up because the energy really isn't amplified here or strong. But there is some moisture around, and there is some cold Arctic dry air just to the north of it. So if a scenario like this was to happen as we're waking up Christmas morning, I wouldn't be surprised if some of this moisture is falling as a little bit of sleet, but it's so far out. I know Christmas seems like it's right around the corner, but still in the models, it's 200 plus hours out. So watch this piece of energy right here, really do. And then another bigger storm shows up the day after Christmas, and you have a good old fantasy run about 9 or 10 days out. Not super far out, but this shows a big time winter storm for the mid-Atlantic. And then it looks like it just flat out gets more active next week. It really does into next weekend. So you look at the Euro is definitely not as crazy as the GFS. I wouldn't call the GFS crazy, it's just more active. But brings that first system into the Northeast this weekend. Nice thump in the snow, even for Boston, before switching to a mix and then ultimately to rain. Nice snow cover for the interior Northeast, just in time for the holidays. Watch this system. The European has it moving much further inland. That would bring more rain further inland to Georgia and to the Carolinas. But it doesn't really connect with this northern stream much here. It does a little bit right here. But you're not getting much snow in the Northeast from this. Then you have this Clipper type system where it's northern stream dominant that moving into Christmas Eve into Christmas Eve morning drops a little bit more snow on the ground for the same areas that gets hit the weekend prior. And then here's that system. It's showing up on the European too, but it's much more amplified, probably due to the fact that it's not suppressed by this same Arctic air that the GFS is modeling right now. But if this was to happen, this would be a rainy Christmas Eve and Christmas for areas of the eastern U.S. and potentially another piece of energy just in time for Christmas evening, some more snow for the interior Northeast. So I think the Northeast, especially the ski country here, watch out. I mean, for sure, you could get quite snowy up there. Now, the big cities, probably not. As far as the GFS, and when you clicked on the graphic, you saw Arctic air. This is what I'm talking about. We get into early next week, and then this crazy, it's like a piece of the polar vortex almost kind of breaks off here. Not literally, but this moves through here, and some very cold air seeps in just in time for the day before Christmas Eve. This is highs Thursday, December 23rd. Pretty average around the Southeast, but you get into the Mid-Atlantic, it's pretty cold. And then you get into Christmas Eve morning, and you got negatives showing up in the interior Northeast. Even cold down in Virginia and North Carolina. You even got the teens for lows across Boston and the big cities. And this is potential high temperatures off the GFS, which is much more different than the European. This is showing high temperatures in the teens for the big city for Christmas Eve as Santa Claus is about to come to town here. And then highs only in the single digits in the mountainous areas of the Northeast. Very impressive. And then you get into Christmas Eve morning and then the Christmas day. Look at this boundary setting up here. This is pretty far out. First off, you got Texas roasting in the 80s. It's not going to feel like Christmas at all. But then you got this tight boundary going across central Alabama into central Georgia, and almost kind of just a wedge influenced from the Northeast as some very cold air is dipping through the Northeast. And you got high pressure up here, funneling in very cold air from the Northeast. You only got highs based off the GFS in the 30s and 40s in the Carolinas and Virginia, and 40s in Atlanta. Very, very cold for your Christmas day. Not as cold as last year. Last year was barely got above freezing. For even some of the more southern cities. But it's something we've got to watch. And then that wedge of cold air erodes away. And, we're getting pretty far out at this point. But I'll tell you what, for the same period, the European is not agreeing. The European is more European for, say, Christmas Eve morning is very average temperatures to actually above average. You got lows in the 40s, lows only in the 30s in Boston, as opposed to lows in the teens off the GFS. There's such a huge difference here. Christmas Eve, highs in the 40s. Like you see here, it's much different. And you get into Christmas morning, you see some very cold air seeping into the upper Midwest, but it definitely has not arrived like the GFS is showing. The GFS is bitterly cold for Christmas morning, as opposed to the European, which is in the 40s and 50s for low temperatures across the Southeast, which is not cold at all for low temperatures. And then a pretty average Christmas day, as far as temperatures across the eastern U.S. for really nobody's really super warm and nobody's super cold at all across the eastern U.S. So I'll have to continue to figure out what's going to happen. You look at the GFS and why it shows that crazy Arctic air mass. This piece of energy breaks off right here and really just delivers a quick fleeting shot of Arctic air for the Northeast just in time for Christmas Eve and Christmas. Really cold air. And that's kind of what's happening there. You see them cold anomalies, that deep digging trough right here over there, just the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. That cold air influence goes down into also the Southeast also. And that's why for the 22nd to 26th time frame, the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook is now showing below average temperatures for Boston, New York City, but it's still saying a higher than normal chance of above average temperatures for the South and around normal around the Ohio Valley. So this depending on what models do overnight in the next couple days, this could trend a little bit more south and we could end up with a colder Christmas across the Southeast, but it's a big question mark here. So that's pretty much all I got, guys. We'll keep you all updated. I will mention things could change very quick on the models. This is a weird pattern, and nothing is set in stone for next week except for the storm system over the weekend, which pretty much looks automatic to happen. I don't think it's going to trend away from that. But the storm systems next week, the cold air, who's going to get what, that's still a major question mark. So y'all have a blessed night. Thank y'all for tuning in, and y'all stay safe.